Hello everybody, it is Tuesday the 11th of October. So I want to talk about three things, and that is the knowledge of good and evil, a new definition for good and evil, a new foundation from which to go. Because we've been doing the same thing over and over again based on the same foundational understanding of good and bad, and we keep creating the wrong outcome. So there is a new fruit ripening, a new perspective, a new idea of what good and bad actually is, or how it works. And I want to talk about the birth pains, or when the Lord God said, from now on, when your eyes are open to the knowledge of good and evil, you will give birth in pain. And the fact that we are forever trying to avoid pain because we really don't like it. So let's start with a new foundation of the knowledge of good and evil. Because what came to me this morning, and it is nearly a paradox, where I look at myself and I'm saying, what am I lacking? Why is this not working out for me? What am I lacking? Because I am receiving according to myself. And the outcome for me at the moment is not good. I'm going under. I'm sinking. So what am I lacking? I'm lacking strength. I am lacking strength. So, and here goes, where do I get strength? Or what part of me do I need to get energy into that will produce strength? And it is the will to have dominion. It is the demiurge. It is the unenlightened one that we have been told to reject. Therefore, he's not being fed in us. It's the wolf. Because we've been told to be the lamb. So, that is what needs strengthening. And there you come to, as I say, it is close to a paradox. Because you would ask for yourself what you have actually condemned in them. They. And then there's, of course, this little voice going inside of you saying, have you gone completely nuts? And no, I haven't. It is actually the truth. And here is the knowledge of good and evil that we have been taught by dividing into good and evil. That is how divide and then conquer. So we've been taught that the will to have dominion is bad. The lamb is good. There is your division. And inside of yourself. And then, of course, you see it in this world where the division of the lambs on the one side and they that are full on the will to have dominion, to rule over. And again, it seems to give strength to this division of good and evil. Because we see what they're doing. We're seeing that it is just about now taking us to total destruction, maybe. Hopefully not. Hopefully the world wakes up. So again, it would strengthen the idea that that is evil. And it is not. So the idea of good and evil is, when do you use it? To what amount do you use it? To create balance inside of yourself. You need both parts to serve when they are needed. So if somebody needs healing, no, the will to have dominion is not there on its own, but compassion needs to be there. There needs to be a mixture. There always needs to, those two need to mix. It is like oil and water, it is, but they do need to mix. to be there at the right amount at the right time. So if we are now lacking, we have let the demiurge inside of us die because we were told he was evil. And we've condemned him. We need to feed him. He's a part of us. He is a part of us. And we need to receive into him so that it will give us strength, because that is what we are completely lacking at the moment, not just me. I mean the masses lack strength. Get up and go. Do something. So this is then the foundation of the correct thinking about good and evil to me. And it's a foundation I want to bring forward, a thinking that I want to give to others. There is no part of you that is either all good or all bad. They all can serve good if you use them at the right time, and then you need to be given strength into the part that you need at the moment. So, and here's when the Lord God said, and that brings me to the birth pains, yeah? When the Lord God said, now that your eyes are open to the knowledge of good and evil, you will give birth in pain, and you will, and you should. Reasoning is at times not at all a pleasant thing to do. It can drive you nuts. But if you want to have self-determination, if you're crying freedom and self-determination, then you have to take responsibility. And to take responsibility, you need to consider not only yourself, but others. And their reasoning starts. And yes, it creates pain. It is a war inside of you. Where you have different arguments at war inside of you. That's the tribulation inside of you. And you should go through that tribulation if you are responsible. If you take responsibility and you are responsible, you must go through that tribulation every time. And then peace will come when balance is achieved. Where you have a feeling of, the war inside of you have ended, we have reached our conclusion. We are now at peace and we're going forward with that conclusion. But that is the kind of peace out of which your decisions should be reached. Yeah? That is the true peace that came out of tribulation. Whereas there are others now that are achieving peace within themselves. As I said, human beings don't like pain. They will shy away from it. So they will try to find ways to avoid pain. And one way of avoiding pain is clearly to become just one side, the fullness of one side, and become that. And then, obviously, the argument is no longer there. The tribulation is no longer there. And you have achieved peace. Either you're the fullness of the will to have dominion, in which case, compassion does not even reach you anymore, or you become full on compassion. It's either way. If you're the fullness of one, reason stops. There can be no argument if there's only one. Tribulation stops. And you have achieved peace, but you've achieved the wrong kind of peace. So if you see, Mary gave birth without pain, because in her there was no tribulation. Yeah? Oh, there is a God so much greater than myself, and he wants me to give. Well, I will serve him. There's no question about that. I'm not looking inside. I'm not reasoning inside of myself, what's going on here? Is this good? Is this bad? Should I actually be doing this? You know, that would have caused her pain in giving birth. But no, she didn't do that. She didn't reason. She did not go through the tribulation of reasoning, and therefore there was no pain. But then in some that teach this, they say that is a God. That is a God. A God that feels no more pain. That is truly a God. He became one, and now he feels no more pain, and that is godliness. No. God is a being that can be self-determining, that is capable of reasoning, that is taking the responsibility for itself. I am. And for that, God will. That is the price of independence. That you will have to go through tribulation over and over and over again, practically with every decision you make. That is the price of independence. If you say, I just become one and I'm at peace, that is the peace of a slave that had the yoke of making decisions taken off him, and he's now at peace. Let the others rule over me. I'm not even going to think about that. That is the peace of a slave. It's not the peace of a God. The peace of a God is born out of tribulation. Must be. And as I said, for this to even happen with us, we must become balanced again. That is to say, for those of us that have become lambs, we need to feed the demiurge inside of us. So that, I'm talking like it is a war. They're going up against each other, and that creates pain. It should not be a war as in one should win. But there's this definition of a dialectic that I came across, and that is that both sides enter into the dialogue with the desire to come together. That is the desire from the start, and that will make it so much easier. If the desire is to come together, not one ruling over the other. The desire to come together, oil and water, water and fire, coming together, to create out of them something that is greater than either part that started it. A synthesis that is greater than either either side. And if you work it that way, it probably takes a lot of the pain away, because this continuous war that one needs to rule over the other, it goes on forever. There will never be peace unless they agree to come together. Look at this world. It tells you something inside of yourself and outside of yourself. So, my last thing I want to say, first of all, I said I was lacking strength, which I am. I need to become stronger. But what do I need this strength for? And I need this strength to really go out into the world. And folks, I'm in the wilderness. Yeah? One voice in the wilderness. That's very much what this feels like. And one voice in the wilderness will eventually die. It will die. One cannot sustain itself. John the Baptist, one voice in the wilderness, he brought forth a change. He did. That desire for a correction brought forth the thought of compassion. Again, we went wrong, or Jesus went wrong, or something went wrong, because again, the compassion should not have become awe, but it should have been integrated into the structure to work with everything else. But again, John the Baptist did not bring that forth on his own. His voice was crying and people came. People came to join him. And it was that joint effort, that joint prayer, that joint desire that brought forth the new knowledge. Again, the knowledge was not the Messiah. It is the Messiah if you integrate it with everything else to build it into your structure. It will enhance the structure. But it cannot be on its own. Anyway, here I am. If you want to donate to my channel, on my home page there's a donate button in the corner, so that will sustain me. But for this message to be sustained, I need people to join me. I cannot sit here and continuously just blurt it out on my own. There need to be other voices that come together to take me out of the wilderness, to take this voice out of the wilderness. So I don't know, share my videos. Help me to do that. Anyway, I leave it at this for today. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.